dissect the semi-final, we have roped in our SABC's Thando Mxoli. Good afternoon, Thando.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. It's a good one indeed.
It's a great one indeed. Yeah. What a match.
It was not comfortable from a Bog fan perspective, but it was nice to get through to the final no matter how we did it. It doesn't have to be pretty at this stage of the tournament. You just need to get the results, be effective in what you do, and that's exactly what we did today. Against a very good Welsh side, they played well. They were disciplined in their approach. They went toe-to-toe with us on all fronts, whether it's a kicking duels, defense,
penalty.
In the forwards as well. They were right up there with us. I mean, like, I remember sitting down with some of our colleagues downstairs talking about the scrums where literally they were dead still. No one was giving an inch. And that's what you expect at this time of the tournament.
And speaking of how we were head-to-head, I know the conviction here was incredibly strong, being a proudly, Springbok supporters. Was there ever a moment where you felt like this was going to go, the Wales team was going to sneak in here?
You always go through those kind of moments because momentum changes, not for long periods of time, but you can have 5 minutes where you're thinking, oh my God, this is not looking good. There was one time where the Springboks were defending for their dear lives. Wales were attacking 5 meters away from our try line, and we thought, oh, this is going to be bad. And that every time you hit them back in the tackle, that inspires the person next to you. This is why it's a team sport. You don't win these sort of games based on individual efforts. It's every single part of a team has to work at its optimum to get these positive results. And a guy like Damian de Linde, the try he scored today, people were shouting pass, then everyone said, no, go, don't pass. The power, and when he saw the try line, nothing could stop him. That's what you're looking for.
And I like that there were certain star performances that unified the team in creating this win for us into the final. But there's always a story of Handré Pollard being that calm presence when needed in the team.
That's the thing. There are certain individuals in this team that have got stories to tell. It's not just under Pollard. You look at the calmness of Lucanio who runs the backline defense in the Springboks team. You look at Sbu Nkosi coming in cold into a semi-final. That takes a lot of doing. Makazole Mapimpi has been one of the finds of the tournament for us. The package we ran earlier today about Makazola's story, where he comes from a rural village in the Eastern Cape. This Makazole is the transformation story, whereby you can, simply by being given a chance, you can achieve great things. He went from playing rural rugby, where the prize is normally half a sheep, they call it in the Eastern Cape, to playing on the biggest stage in the world. Those are the kind of stories that need to be told. Those are the kind of stories we need to focus on to grow the game. The game is not black or white. It's all about the people who love it, and seeing these players, seeing the camaraderie in this team. That is inspirational stuff. Because in terms of talent, for example, if you look at the 95 and 2007 World Cup winning teams, both of those teams had dominant teams. 95 we had the Transvaal team, which had just won a Super Rugby tournament. 2007 we had the Magical Bulls team, which dominated that tournament. This team has got a bit of everything, and it says a lot about the leadership group and your Siya Kolisi, Dwayne from Newlands, your Thando Mxoli. Those guys have pulled everyone together. I saw the package you ran earlier, whereby things were not so great with this team when they started this 4-year cycle. But they've managed to turn it around in 2 years. They've beaten New Zealand away from home. They've reached a World Cup final. Those are amazing stories to tell. We've seen players like Cheslin Colby being written off, but they've come back and become stronger. Faf was dropped at the Lions, for example, and he's starting for the All Blacks. He played, for the Springboks, and he played an entire game today for us, doing critical things. It's maybe not to his strength, but you do what the team needs you to do.
And looking at the players as you have taken us through, it's almost like there's so much of stories that we could unpack, and we could sit here and talk for days about it. But I love that also what you said about Siya Kolisi, saying coming from the different backgrounds, yet they've unified and gelled to put a team that is formidable.
Talking about the very same Siya Kolisi, I remember listening to him talk about his first provincial trials where he didn't even have a normal pair of shorts, played in his boxers. And that's the kind of poverty we're talking about. That first time he got to grade PE after he got a scholarship, and the biggest thing that moved him was getting a pair of socks for the whole week. It's heart-wrenching sometimes, but it's also inspirational stuff whereby you come from poverty, but your circumstance doesn't determine where you're going to end up in life. Those things don't overwhelm you. And another thing about the various MC Akoli's, the first time the Springboks played in PE, he was a grade junior, and the Springbok bus pulls up. Skalkberger walks off the bus, and he wanted an autograph, so he took out a hymn book, because he had just come out of a seminar. He took out a hymn book and made Skalkberger sign that hymn book, and a couple of years later, those two became teammates. That is the power of dreaming. That is the power of believing you can achieve anything. It's just, you need to have it in your mind. You need to believe in your dream. Give your dream wings, and this is what you get. You get kids who basically came from nothing, and now they're basically going to become legends of the sport, win or lose.
Win or lose, they are legends. Under the leadership of a man like Rassie Erasmus, he's done so well at the Cheetahs, now at the helm of the Springboks. To bring them to this final, this must be quite a moment for him.
This match, he was sort of like a Trojan horse, because he spent 2 years. Remember those 2 years we struggled?
Yes.
He was in Wales coaching Munster, their base side, and he knows all these top Welsh players. So one would say we placed him there to go get intel for us, but he's done very well. He's made the team more organized. That's the one thing he's brought to the coaching structure. It's the same group of players, but they just have more direction. There's more focus for the team. Everyone knows exactly what they need to do, where they are in the pecking order, and his communication with the team, whether it's the guys playing in the 23 or even guys outside of the 23. Because sometimes you get pulled in from outside of the starting 23, the match day 23, and you get told you're starting a match. But you need to be prepared. He's done that very well. He's picked a group of 40-odd players that have done the business for him, and he's given them the right information, which is crucial, and he's also backed everyone. Bongi Bonambi is another one. He was playing behind a Malcolm Marx, who was considered the world's best in his position. And now, not many people can doubt why he's starting. He's shown through performance, through having the right attitude, that it doesn't matter if you're not starting, but with the right attitude, things will come right, and your talent will come through at the end of the day.
So yesterday we were talking about the mind games of the Welsh and the likes of Rassie. They pretty much straightforward kind of guys. But we're going to a game which is the final against a mastermind, Eddie Jones.
And he is when it comes to mind games, he's on another level. He'll talk it up the whole week, but he's also a very smart coach. He's been around the block quite a while. He's been in the international circuit since the early 2000s, and he's got a lot of success and some trying times. The good thing about him as head coach, he's never won as head coach. He lost with Australia in 2003, but also he was part of the World Cup winning Springbok team in 2007, and a lot of people gave him the credit for turning that team around, because it had struggled a year before. But that said, I think Rassie and his coaching staff are smart enough to know how to beat in England. It's just a matter of executing on the day. Eddie Jones will always bring a surprising element to a match. He's not a simple coach like Warren Gatland, who simply says, go do this, this is the process. He's not a template coach. He'll always have a little thing in his mind to give you the edge. That's why he beat Japan. I mean, with Japan, he beat us in 2015. Those are the little things he brings to the match. But I still believe we have enough to beat England. I haven't doubted this team since the tournament started. Even through our trying times with the Eben Etzebeth scenario, we always believed we had the 23 to win the tournament.
Now, they say that the Springboks have scored the most points so far in this World Cup, but we know stats are one thing that you never go on, especially when you take on a team like England. Especially in
the final, they don't matter. It's about the temperament on the day. You need people who know how to perform when the lights are turned on. We're on the world's biggest stage. The whole world will be watching every single thing you do, whether it's a kick, whether it's a tackle. You need to make sure you do your part on the day. Do we have the temperament? I believe we do. We've got players who have gone through a lot in their careers in this team, and we've got players who are hungry for success as well. That is always a good combination. We should be fine, purely because the character of the team inspires a lot of confidence, and that there's nothing more that you want in a group of players going into a big match like this.
And then you have our President Cyril Ramaphosa sending a message out to Boris Johnson, saying to him, well, guess what? It's the Springboks who will be holding the Webb Ellis Trophy come Saturday, the 2nd of November.
And like any other former president, President Mandela was there when Francois Pienaar won the Webb Ellis Trophy. President Mbeki was there in 2007 when John Smith won the Webb Ellis Trophy. Let's see if Thuma Mina will deliver the goods for this team. Look, we've got the players ultimately. That's the most important thing. External factors aside, we've got the players to win on the day. And that is the most important thing. And that should be our focus. We should focus on our strengths. Because even though our weaknesses are a strength in a way, let's focus on the things that make us good. Let's focus on the things that have made us beat in New Zealand. We came close against England the last time we played them at Twickenham. We must not forget moments like that. Draw inspiration from those moments when things were not so great, and become better at those small moments that turn a match.
I love that. I love what you just said, because looking back at your past, it tells you where you're going into the future, and the future looks incredibly bright. That I will tell you. We've got all the action for you here. We'll keep you updated on the SABC, bringing you some more of the Springbok.